Okay, so coming to 2030, this was an interesting question, guys. Question number 27. They have said a closed economy has a banking system. They have a banking system consisting of a single bank. In the entire banking system, there is only one bank. The bank operates with a reserve ratio of 10%, SRR. Customer deposits 10,000 in cash. Assuming no subsequent changes in notes and coins in circulation, what is the maximum amount of loans that the bank can grant? Yes. Now the question comes, do we do this as a banking system question or do we do this as a single bank question? There is a banking system. The banking system has only one bank. Do we do it as a single bank question, right, where we don't use the multiplier or anything, or do we do it as a banking system question where we use the multiplier or not? Remember, guys, good. So if there is only one bank in the banking system, we call this what? We call this a monopoly bank. Monopoly bank, where there is only one bank in the banking system. So when you get a question like this, you need to do the question, right, considering this as a banking system, not as a single bank. Right? You have to do the question like you do a banking system question. You have to use the deposit multiplier and do it. So this is how the it's not practical at all, guys. It's not at all practical when you have one single bank. That bank can't lend and the customer won't come and put in the same bank. Not practical at all, but that is how your theory is made. So I am not the one who made this. What to do? So remember, you need to do it as a banking system question. Then think, guys, a 10,000 has come into a banking system. So when this 10,000 comes into a banking system, our SRR is 10%. So how much is our deposit multiplier then? Our deposit multiplier is 10 times, no? We have a deposit multiplier of 10 times. So this 10,000 that comes will create demand deposits of 100,000. But that is not the question. The question is saying this 10,000 will create loans of how much? How much of loans will it create? The 10,000 that came. It will create loans of a 90,000, right? Remember the banking system's balance sheet, I think. If you take the banking system's balance sheet, the total reserves will be the initial deposit. We have learned that in credit creation. Okay. Don't know, watch the video that I asked you all to watch in the 2011 at the beginning. So 10,000 reserve. Deposits are 100,000 coming from the deposit multiplier. Then how much of loans do they have? That is the balance. So loans therefore will be a 90,000. So small thing to learn, if they give you a question about a monopoly bank, or they say the banking system has only one bank, you don't do the question like a single bank, you do the question as a banking system question. That means you have to use the deposit multiplier. So here they are asking what is the maximum amount of loans the bank can grant, answer will be 90. If they ask what is the maximum amount of deposits that they can create, then the answer would have been 100,000. Okay, is that clear? What is the assumption refers to in the queue? Assumption in the queue in the sense? So assuming no subsequent changes mean there is no new deposits coming in, no withdrawals going out. That's what they say. Assume that there is no change in notes and coins in circulation. Because if there is a deposit, currency in circulation goes down. If there is a withdrawal, notes in circulation goes up. So they are assuming there is nothing means no one is depositing or withdrawing money. Even if they have not given that, you have to assume it that. Okay. Now, going to 28. According to the Keynesian theory, in which of the circumstances would there be an increase in demand for money? Very easy, guys. Demand for money is the amount of money that you keep with you, in the form of cash. So tell me, if your real income increases, what will happen to your demand for money? Forget about real income, think of income. If your income increases, what happens to demand for money? Increases, right? So for demand for money to increase, real income will increase, demand for money will increase. Price level. When will the demand for money increase? When the price level is higher or the price level is low? Think and see, guess 5 years ago, how much of money you kept in your purse and how much of money you keep in your purse now when you're going to school. When the price level is high, right? When the price level is high, okay, when the price level is high, demand for money is high. Earlier, when things were very cheap, you only kept 100 rupees in your purse, you can go to school and come. But now you're keeping 300 rupees in your purse to go to school, come by bus and all of that. So now you're keeping more money with you because prices now are very expensive. So when price levels go up, demand for money also goes up. People have to keep more money with them. Then what about interest rates? When will the demand for money increase? When the interest rates increase or decrease? When the interest rates, decrease. So the question is asking, when will there be an increase in demand for money? So there will be an increase in the demand for money when real income increase, price increase, interest rates decrease. Which one is our answer then? Number 3, no? Number 3. Increase, and a decrease. Yes, how does this happen? That's the theory part, okay? I'm not going into that into detail. Any questions, guys? 28, fine. Interest rate decrease, not that people would withdraw money from bank. You need to know that speculative motive part. This interest rates falling, this is speculative motive. How the price of bonds will change, then you know that story. That is the part. Okay. 29. Okay, this is again an interesting question, guys. The question is saying, we'll see. The question is saying, assume that the economy is at full employment. Okay, they're at full employment. Policymakers wish to maintain price level stable. They don't want to increase the prices. Now, see, we'll draw the economy and see, right? So there is aggregate demand, right? This is the AD curve. This is the AS curve, aggregate sum. So the economy currently is at full employment. And let's say, for example, the prices are at 100. Remember, this axis is price level. This axis is the real GDP. So economy is at full employment. Now they are saying policymakers wish to maintain price level stable. They don't want the prices to increase. At the same time, they want to encourage greater investment. They want to make sure there is more investment also, but they want to keep price level stable also. Which of the following combinations of monetary and fiscal policy would best achieve this goal? Now, I'll just tell you, guys. Now, if you want to increase investment, right? If aggregate demand, now remember, aggregate demand has C plus I plus G plus NX. No? So investment. So one way is you can increase the aggregate demand. So if you increase the aggregate demand, right, investments can go up. If you increase investment, aggregate demand, that part is there, no, it will go up. But then what happens? Then the prices will also go up. So this economy, they want investment to go up also. They want prices to stay the same also. How? How can they make sure that investment also increase, but price levels are also the same? So ideally, guys, you all understand that in this, one has to be contractionary, one has to be expansion. You all understand that, because if you have both expansionary and monetary, AD will go up, prices will go up. Yeah. So one policy has to be expansionary, where the AD will go up. The other policy has to be contractionary, where the AD will come back and the prices remain the same. You all understand that? Because if both the policies are expansionary, prices will go up. So it has to be like a counter. From one way, you are trying to increase investment. From the other side, you try to bring the price level down. How do you do that, guys? So for something like this, right, what should happen is now government wants to make sure there is increased investment. So you know what will they do? What should they do? government has to come and with their fiscal policy, government with their fiscal policy, they have to be expansionary, guys. Fiscal policy has to be expansion. They have to reduce taxes. They have to increase government spending. When they reduce taxes, increase government spending, right? Now what happens? There will be more and more investments. Investments will go up. They are reducing taxes. They are saying, okay, tax is only 2%. Now businesses are motivated. They will spend, right? They'll do that. Government is also coming and starting new projects, right? Government is also coming and starting, let's say, a flyover, different things. So investments go up. But then what happens? Prices are also going up on the same way. So in order to counter this increase in prices, now you all know, no? When investments go up, prices will also go up. Aggregate demand goes up. So how can they counter this? Now, fiscal policy has to be expansionary. Right? Fiscal policy has to be expansion. They have to reduce taxes, increase government spend. What can they do with their monetary policy? Now, they have achieved that increase investment. Yeah, so in this, the prices will go up if they only have an expansionary fiscal. Now they want to bring the prices down also. What should they do? Should they have another expansionary monetary or should they have a contractionary monetary? They should now have what, guys? They need to have a contractionary monetary. So a contractionary monetary. How can they do this? They can, right, increase the interest rate and thereby reduce the money supply. So that way, prices will come down. So when this happens, prices go up, right? When this happens, prices go up. And then by having a contractionary monetary policy, they bring prices back down. So now prices will remain stable. Prices went up and came down, stable. Investments will go up. That is how it happens. Is that okay? Yeah. How, to what extent it will work in real life is again questionable. In theory, it will work. In real life, might not work exactly the same way because there are so many other factors that will shape. No, it's a bit of a harder question, guys. Not a very easy one to do. Why can't it be the opposite? Good question. Why can't the monetary policy be expansionary and the fiscal policy be contractionary? The argument behind this is, if the policymakers want to encourage investment, now the government is the one who wants to encourage investment. No? So government has to make the first move. They can't go and expect the firms to increase their investment and do that. So government itself has to come and now start spending, reduce taxes, and they have to promote this first. That's why the fiscal has to be expansion, not the monetary. If the government wants this to happen, they have to take the first move. Now remember, during COVID, government wanted aggregate demand to go up, no? So what did the government do? They came and reduced interest rates. They came and started spending. They gave 5,000 for all the families. So government has to take the initiative. That is what has to happen. Is that okay? That's why fiscal will be expansionary and monetary policy will be contraction. How it will be in the graph, guys? For example, aggregate demand will go up and it will again come down. So where this will stay kind of at the same level, but now there is more investment. You can't really show this 100% in the graph, but that kind of a situation. Is that okay? It's a bit of a hard question. 2013 paper, guys, is anyway a little hard. Okay. Now, 30. Which of the following policy choices represent the combination of fiscal and monetary policies designed to bring an economy out of recession? Think, guys, very easy. Now think, what did Sri Lanka do during COVID? During COVID, we had a recession. So in terms of monetary policy and fiscal policy, what should we do, Lama? We want to bring the economy out of a recession. So in terms of monetary policy, expansionary or contractionary monetary policy, we need to have a expansionary monetary policy. In terms of The fiscal policy, what should we do? Should we have an expansionary or a contraction? Now economy is in recession, you want to bring it back up. What should you do? Again, an expansionary case. So we don't care about prices going up now. When the economy is in a recession, we want to expand the economy. So both monetary policy and fiscal policy has to be expansionary to bring the economy out of a recession. So to bring the economy, how can we have a expansionary monetary policy? You will reduce the interest rates and try to improve the money supply. How can you have a expansionary fiscal policy? You will reduce taxes and increase government spending. Government spending will come up. So look at the answers and see which one makes sense. First one says decrease taxes, okay, and money supply. No, money supply has to go up. Wrong. Increase taxes, no. Increase government spending, okay, and decrease central bank interest rates, okay, looks correct. Increase both taxes and discount rate. Discount rate is the interest rate, guys. So interest rates have to reduce. Wrong. Engaging in a budget deficit. Budget deficit is good. Government spending increases, taxes come down. Okay. Increase budget deficit. Engage in a budget deficit, fine. Sell securities. Now, if the central bank sells securities, money supply will come down, guys. So this part is wrong. So which one is our answer then? Number 3. Is that okay? Question 30. Okay. Right. Then we'll go to 31. In a economy, the volume of output rises by 2% in a year, while the quantity of money rises by 5%. The velocity of circulation of money remains the same. What will be the approximate increase in the price level and the nominal value of total output? Very easy. No? What should we use for this, guys? You can use the equation of exchange. No? What is the equation of exchange? MV equals PT or PY. Okay. So they are saying, look at what they are saying. They are saying, okay, volume of output increases by 2%. Okay. No, during a recession, you have to increase the money supply, not reduce. Because during a recession, you want to promote aggregate demand. So you will increase the money supply so that there is more money supply, people would spend, not reduce. Okay. So output has increased by 2%. Okay. Quantity of money rises by 5%. So this has gone up by a 5%. Velocity remains the same. So no change, 0%. What will be the appropriate increase in money supply, in price level and the nominal value of total output? Yes. When you get percentages, do you multiply or do you add? How do you find? Remember, guys, when you get percentages, you always add, don't multiply. I know the equation is MVPT, but they have not given the money supply and the velocity of circulation. They have told you by how much it is increasing by. So then see, guys, tell me, if the money supply increases by 5%, velocity of circulation is constant, then this entire component increases by how much? The MV part. MV part has increased by a 5%, right? It has gone up by 5%. So if the MV part goes up by 5%, according to our equation, what should happen? The PY part also should increase by 5%. So for this PY part to increase by 5%, your output has already increased by 2%. By how much should the prices increase by? By how much should the prices increase by? The prices should increase by 3%, guys. Remember, when you have percentages, you don't multiply. Now, don't say, so 2.5, now PY, no, sir, P into Y, no. So then it has to be 2.5 into 2, then only it's 5. Percentages, you don't multiply. Okay, so it has to be how much? It has to be a 3% increase in price level. So increase in price level should be a 3%. Increase in nominal value of total output. This entire thing is the nominal value of total output. Oops. right? This entire thing is the nominal value of total output. So this will increase by how much? By 5%, right? This part. So which one is our answer then? Number 4. Is that clear? Not that hard. How you can figure an answer out for that. MV equals PY. You work around, you can easily get one. It's not hard. Okay, right. Then going into 32. Okay, these also, yes guys. So y is the real output, P into y is the nominal output. Okay, right. Coming to 32. 32 guys is a very hard question. Okay, bit of a difficult one. We'll see. We did discuss this in one of the fast track papers also, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see if you all can remember. Listen very carefully. Okay. The following table gives index numbers for the measure of economy's nominal value of GDP from 2008 to 12. So 2008 to 12, the nominal GDP has actually decreased. Now, how do you calculate nominal GDP, Ramai? Nominal GDP is the price level multiplied by whatever output they make, no? So that is the nominal GDP. So can you tell me why has this nominal GDP fallen, guys? Price into quantity, output is the quantity. So this nominal GDP could have fallen if the prices have fallen. It could have also fallen if the output has fallen. Maybe what could have happened is prices went up, output fell by a lot. Then also it can fall. Maybe output went a little, but prices fell by a lot. Then also it can fall. You all understand the multiplication there? It's price into output. How can the final answer fall? Maybe both have fallen. Maybe prices were constant, but output fell. Maybe prices fell, but the output was constant. So there can be so many situations where this nominal GDP can fall. Do you all understand that? How the nominal GDP can fall? Maybe both fell. Maybe prices increased a little, output fell a lot. Maybe price fell a lot, output increased a little. Maybe prices were constant, output fell. Maybe price fell, output was constant. So all of these 5 situations, right? All of these 5 situations will bring down your nominal GDP. So they are asking, from the data, it can be concluded that. What can you definitely say that has happened? Now my question is, can you say that the real output, now this is the real output, there must have been a fall in the real output? Can you definitely say that there must be a fall in the real output? Can you conclude that? Can you conclude that between 2008 to 2012 that the real output fell? You can't, right? Because see, now even if the real output increases a little, here this combination, real output has risen, but since the price fell a lot, nominal GDP fell. So can you conclude, can you definitely say this is because the real output fell? You can't. Can you definitely say because the rate of inflation, the prices increased? Because the prices have fallen, a fall in the rate of inflation. Can you definitely say that? Again, not really, right? Because maybe here prices have actually risen, but because the real output fell a lot, the nominal GDP fell. So can you say that there was a fall in rate of inflation or the prices? Again, you can't definitely say that also. So 2 and 3 are out because you can't conclude that. It might have happened, it might have not happened. But what can you conclude that way? The nominal GDP has fallen definitely because of what? You can definitely say, guys, there is a fall in what? Fall in aggregate demand, fall in the government's budget deficit, fall in a deficit in the trade balance. Definitely you can say, guys, there would have been a fall in aggregate demand. Remember, when aggregate demand falls, okay, when aggregate demand falls, the firms reduce their output, no? Will the firms produce the same amount of output that they produced before? No, right? The no GDP, that is the output, no guys, the amount of goods that is produced. So if people are not willing to spend, the GDP will fall. So that is why the GDP fell. So you can conclude that this happened because of number one. Not, you can't say that is because of a fall in the budget deficit, that is because of fall in the trade balance. That you can't say again, guys. Even 4 and 5, you can't definitely say. But you can definitely say the nominal GDP fell because aggregate demand fell. People are not willing to spend. So since people are not willing to spend, now the prices also went down, output also went down, aggregate demand goes down, the GDP went down. That you can say. Is that clear? Again, a very tough question. Yes, I did teach this in one of the fast track papers also. Is that fine? Yes, 2013 is a little bit of a harder paper, right? If you saw, almost all the questions were hard, no? So that's it with the 2013. So look at the questions. The first itself, they started with a monopoly ban. You have not even heard that before. Then second one was okay, 28 was okay. 29 also was a little confusing, right? It's expansionary, contractionary, which one? Then again 30 was somewhat okay. Again 31 was shape, not that hard. 32 was a little difficult, so it was not that easy. So out of the 6 questions, how did you all do? At least 3. You at least got around 3, that means you're okay. Questions are a little hard, but take some time to definitely go through again. Okay, so 2013 is also